winning and Texas winning. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
There's
so if you don't want to call them
there's a far outside chance that Tennessee kind of put a kink in a lot of, and they put a kink in a lot of people's by beating Virginia. Virginia was a 3, and you know, I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit biased.
By a whole, I think Iowa and the other, because that's really how it really is, you know. And so really when you think of how many of these teams, how many of these brackets, I mean, we're talking millions. Probably if you looked at every bracket that was filled out on all the different places on the platforms, there's hundreds of millions of brackets, because I know people do more than one. And then you're talking about no perfect brackets. And it's because of Tennessee, Texas, and Iowa. But Iowa and Texas, they're the leading causes of this, because Tennessee, Rick Barnes has done a decent job up there. They've made the Sweet 16, and that's what's crazy to me is, like, when you look at it from last year's Sweet 16 compared to this year's Sweet 16 is almost the same for 9. I mean, it's 9 teams made it last year. 9 teams that are in the Sweet 16 are the same teams. But the 7 teams that are new to the game
are completely new.
Yeah. And honestly, those 7 teams have the hardest road ahead of them, because, you know, they're the lower ranked. I mean, Duke made it last year. Michigan made it last year. Arizona made it last year. What?
Hold off.
No.
Hold off. Iowa playing a 4 seed Nebraska and then can turn around and play Illinois. Because if Illinois pulls the upset on Houston, Iowa's road does not seem that hard. They got past the big block, and that was Florida.
Yeah.
So I disagree on that. I think that Iowa's path to the Final Four can be easier than most. And I'm sorry if I'm knocking a 3-seed Illinois, but I am.
What would it be if it's crazy to me. It's just like, and we're going to talk to Coach Blue from the Gulf State at the top of the hour. They won last night. We're going to go into all that. We're going to have him live with us from Hutchinson. Easy to see that they're going to be a possibility of these teams. And the way it sits right now, you know, you can like it or not. I don't like it, but I'm going to say it. You got all these Big Ten teams that they're going to be going to all these different places and locations and possibly just playing each other. They've been playing each other all year at home and then away, and then now they're going to have to go all the way to, you know, possibly the championship to play each other. Because wouldn't it be nuts if Illinois or Iowa and Michigan, they all make it to the championship and play each other in the championship? Or what in the world could we live in college basketball if Michigan State plays Michigan in the national championship this year, and then we all would be vomiting at tip-off because we'd be so sick of hearing, oh, I guess Michigan is a state of football, state of basketball. I mean, we're going to have Ty Humbert from Humbert Diesel on Friday. Him and AJ are coming in, Florida and Michigan. I was hoping that we were going to be having both of those teams in, but there's I know Florida's out, but there's a possibility Michigan's out, but who knows. But either way, we're going to have them in, and he's going to be lighting it up about Michigan.
Do we have to have AJ? I'm joking. I'm totally joking.
Wow.
I like AJ. Nice guy.
Yeah, you just.
But your team's out now.
Yeah, the Florida deal that you've got going on right now is getting very serious. So, you know, it's getting really close to you. And the Florida fans, I'm sure they're really happy.
You love that orange. You love that orange.
I don't.
Look at that.
I don't love orange at all.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I think you are pushing yourself into Gator hater mode, and there's a chance.
So what's the second double whammy for Big Ten versus Big Ten? After Michigan State, it would be Illinois, Purdue, I would think. Yeah, you wouldn't want to watch that. You'd be like, what? Why are y'all making me watch this?
Illinois and Purdue doesn't sound good in anything. I mean, and I'm not being rude, but I'm just saying that to me, you know, they're not storied programs.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you can say Purdue has been good in basketball. They have been. Illinois really hasn't been.
Yeah.
Not since a long time ago. So,
yeah.
But either way, we're going to take our first break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Steve Barnes from the RoboWalk.com. We're going to see what he thinks about some of this college basketball and maybe some of these coaching changes. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Call or text us now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. The chaos lives here. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida presents March Madness.
Living up to its name, the Madness. 3, top of the key, got it!
Catch every upset, every buzzer beater, and every heart-stopping moment of the NCAA tournament.
Right corner, he's going to take the 3, and he hit it again!
Your home for the Big Dance is right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
That right there is the explanation point.
Good afternoon. This is Anna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Tuesday's weather forecast. Partly cloudy the remainder of the day with temps near 74 and a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly clouds tonight, a moderate breeze out of the east, and a temperature of 58. About the same tomorrow, around 71 with some clouds, and a wind coming out of the east around 8 miles per hour. Sunny Thursday. A light breeze and hot around 73. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
You've been low-key thinking about dropping a podcast. Well, now is the time to start, brah. Sports, politics, finance, science, health, real estate, music, interviews, surfing, conspiracy theories, or alien abductions. Ready to main character your own content? We can make it happen with Turnkey Podcast Productions from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Our local, modern, state-of-the-art multimedia recording studio is now available for booking, starting at just $100 an episode. Take your fandom to the next level. For more information, text the keyword studio to 850-215-6290. Text studio to 850-215-6290. Text studio 215-6290 or jam over to espnpc.com. Bruh.
Lanier in transition, hits the 3, and a sign of life from Knoxville. Playing, driving right. Lob from Brazil and a two-hand slam.
6 on the clock. Now with 5, he drives on Maddox. Right elbow with 3, spins to the foul line. Jumper up, and it rattles in at the buzzer.
Don't miss any of this year's action on the road to the Final Four with Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the men's NCAA tournaments.
Listen live exclusively on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida and the ESPN Northwest Florida app.
And now the Gulf Coast's newest sports talk host, Paul Wilson.
Fresh new start.
Locally sourced, farm to radio. The Sports Blitz.
We're starting fresh.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for the Orlando Magic. Don't forget, the Magic play the Cavaliers tonight at 6:30 in cold Ohio. And then don't forget, tomorrow night, Auburn versus Nevada right here in the NIT. You didn't know you was going to get some knit playing basketball tomorrow, did you, Jeffrey? Also, you can – I'm not asking questions, even though it's a question. 850-215-6290 is the Red 7T's phone line if you want to be a part of the show. Maybe you want to give some hate back to the Gator hater in the building. But either way, we're excited. We got Steve Barnes on the line. Steve, how you doing today, my friend?
Well, the word of the day seems to be blindsided. I've been working on this thing all day about the dominance of SEC baseball. 10 of the top 25 this week are SEC teams, and we got it's rivalry week tonight. You got Southern Miss going to State, who's number 6. You got Ole Miss going to Memphis, and you got Florida State. Yeah, pretty good games. Then this weekend it is rivalry weekend. You got the Iron Bowl, you got Alabama and Auburn, you got the Egg Bowl at State and Ole Miss. You got Red River with Oklahoma, Texas. And you have Tennessee Vanderbilt, but the best one's going to be Kentucky at LSU. But watching that, I'm getting ready for that. And by the way, I've got on a spring training game on. It's Kansas City and Texas. Speaking of the SEC baseball, Jock Peterson, former Gator, just hit an oppo home run, 365 feet. Nobody should be able to do that. That's mean.
They juice the balls up in spring training, Steve. That's all it is.
Well, but I'm working on that, and all of a sudden, here we go. We got another court case of a kid trying to get another year of eligibility. It's got fast-tracked. I think it's April 14th. Kid from Oklahoma.
Yep.
It's got to be heard in Cleveland County, Oklahoma, which is where Norman is. And the judge, he has a undergrad from BYU, but he has a law degree from Oklahoma. He lives in Norman, and I would hate to be his wife trying to go grocery shopping or his kids or grandkids going to school if Grandpa or Dad rules against this kid. And just after that, Tommy Tuberville introduces a bill on the Senate floor. 5 years to play 4, period.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes, and we'll see how the linebacker from Oklahoma, whether or not he's going to do it.
He'll win.
Yeah,
he shouldn't, but he'll win.
It should be. We'll see. I mean, again, another reason why we need to have something fixed in this whole thing called the college football. And don't think that for one moment it's not going to start happening in basketball and baseball as well. It's going to happen there as well. So either way, and you're right, there's some really good baseball games going on this weekend. And, as much as I would love to talk about it, we're going to jump into this whole thing called March Madness. And how did you feel seeing this Texas team come out of nowhere? Because obviously Ole Miss sent them home the first round of the playoff in the SEC tournament. Now saying Texas is a Cinderella, which Brian yesterday said he can't do it because of the deep pockets of the Longhorn Nation. And Jeffrey's like, they kind of are the Cinderella because they're 11 seed and they had to have a play-in game just to get into the tournament. So, Steve, the question is, are Texas Longhorns in basketball a Cinderella story? And are you shocked by how good they're playing and how bad they were playing just a couple of weeks ago?
No and no. They're not a Cinderella because they're Texas. I mean, it's hard to be a name like that and be a Cinderella. I mean, the last time that really happened was North Carolina State in '83, I guess. But they weren't even a name yet.
Nope.
So, yeah, it's like saying, well, golly, in the football playoffs, here comes Notre Dame, who lost 3 games in the regular season. What a Cinderella team they are. Nah, I don't see them as a Cinderella. And I think Brian's right, just the deep pockets in Texas.
Yeah, and
automatically makes you Prince Charming, not Cinderella.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I guess you could say it's one of the other girls. Who's the other girls? They were the
I don't know
the stepdaughters, stepsisters. Yeah, the stepsisters. So maybe Texas is the stepsisters.
Texas Tech is a Cinderella. Really, with a $40 million roster, they're a Cinderella. Okay.
Well, and that's the biggest thing. Like we were talking early with the whole deal with Iowa upsetting Florida, and then now you got this Texas. And I guess really, as well as we all do, just like the Indiana story from football, we always are looking for the team that's not supposed to be there. So we are garnering a lot of attention towards them. But this Texas team, though, they're really playing good, and Sean Miller's got them in the right direction. And, he's got a lot of experience in coaching in the tournament. So it wouldn't surprise me if they made it one more round. I mean, I think that they will probably lose when they have to play Arizona. But, if Arkansas can somehow pull off the upset with Arizona, you could have an Arkansas-Texas matchup and a different Texas team playing against Arkansas who's hot as well.
Well, my roommate was gone all weekend, went to Orlando. He came back yesterday afternoon. And he says, well, how's your bracket doing? How are your Final Four? I was like, I don't know. Let me look. Wow. Hey, all 4 are still there. Cool. Like that. And he said, I can't believe you picked Iowa State. Who are they? I mean, he thinks they're Cinderella because you don't hear about them very much. Like they're number 2 seed.
Yeah, they've been good.
I'm like, yeah, so you can't really. I never heard of them. They must be Cinderella. No, I'm sorry.
So who do you
They're
have?
not. They're a good team.
They are good. Who do you have in your Final Four, Steve?
Oh, I still have UConn, Houston, Arizona, and Iowa State.
Wow.
Okay.
And I've got Arizona winning it all.
Okay. And who do you got them playing? UConn or Houston?
Houston.
Yeah. And those are all still valid points. I mean, because they've all got some.
When I first looked at it, I think Houston's got. I looked at it and said, I think they get the best chance. But then I looked at Arizona, it's like they're just playing too well. I can't. That's the only 1 seed I had going to the Final Four.
Yeah. Well, Arkansas is playing good though.
I had Florida going out last weekend.
Oh wow. Yeah. So you know, a lot of people we've had over, not our bracket challenge, but bracket challenges that we've been looking at. 25 million brackets were busted after this past weekend. So a lot of people had Florida moving on, and that's what's crazy. A lot of people had Texas not even being there. I mean, would you have thought if we had Texas in the conversation at the beginning of the tournament, knowing that they were just a play-in team?
Well,
I think they're better than a play-in team. But, I mean, seriously, I told everybody, always take a 12 over a 5, and I did this year. I took Akron. I just picked the wrong 12. I should have picked High Point. But High Point, how many brackets did they bust?
Yeah.
It's like when Steph Curry was at Davidson. How many people did he kill the first week?
Well, Jeffrey picked High Point. He's made sure he's told.
And VCU.
I beat him to the point today because every day since they've won, he's told us on the show, well, I picked VCU and High Point. Well, I picked VCU and High Point. So I done it. I was able to tell you first. Jeffrey, do you think Texas literally has a shot, though, after seeing what they've done? Obviously, they found ways to win. That NC State game was a 2-point game. It wasn't huge, but they had to hit a shot at the end of the buzzer. And, I mean, but they're finding ways to win, and they're refusing to lose.
It's sad because, I mean, you talk about them beating BYU and Gonzaga, and BYU is now a Power 4 conference team.
Yeah.
Okay. They played the pedigree. They played the schedule. Okay. So I'm not knocking that. But NC State also, ACC team, playing a tough schedule. I mean, they only lost by 2. I get it. This path, there's nobody's had a harder path than Texas, and that includes Iowa. And Iowa's had 2 upsets also because they had to beat an 8 just to get to the 1, you know? No, I did not think we'd be talking about Texas at this point in the tournament at all. No way.
Yeah.
I have a segue for High Point if you're ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Troy got beat first round by 29, couldn't even score 50 points. I thought they were going to be like the joke of the first weekend. Thank you, North Carolina. Thank you, Georgia. But by the time they landed back in Alabama, Scott Cross, the head coach, had been hired at Georgia Tech. And, you can't say he just, he got hired because he went to the tournament. Well, he's been to the tournament 2 straight years. He's been 3 times in his career. He's won 350 games. Guy knows what he's doing. So, great guy. Know him pretty well. Great guy. Good luck in Atlanta. But where does Troy go now? Here's a name. Ben Fletcher. Played at Troy. When he graduated, he was the all-time leader in threes at the Division I level. They're never going to catch the Division II guys. He was hired on as an assistant at Troy for 3 years. Before he left, he coached the guy that broke his record in threes. Then he went to Kennesaw State for a few years. They had a guy, led the conference, or maybe led the nation in three-pointers. Then he went to South Florida, worked his way up to the top assistant, and was actually interim head coach for a little while. And then last year he had a new job. He was a top assistant at High Point. Mm-hmm. It's time for him to get the Troy job.
Really? So you think he's going to go there? You don't think some of these other teams are going to try to pull him away? You think he's going to go back home to Troy?
Well, after 20 years as an assistant, somebody would have probably tried to get him before now. And I don't think one of the, the big boys, you're not going to get an assistant from High Point to come to, North Carolina. You're just not going to do that.
No.
So, I think he's got to go mid-major, and why wouldn't you go home?
Yeah. Jeffrey, you were shaking
It'd
your
be
head.
a great hire for Troy and great move for him.
You were shaking your head no, though. Why, Jeffrey?
Well, no, I understand, like, you want to go back home sometimes. But High Point's got deep pockets. They have money. And they're a basketball country. They're going to give the support to that program because what's High Point got? Basketball. Mm-hmm. They don't have any other sports really to really mention at all.
Right.
Yeah. So that's tough. And Troy used to be, 10, 12 years ago, the school in football in the Sun Belt. And times have changed. We've added teams and they've moved on, I mean, Troy, I know they got to the conference championship this year. They won the West Division, which they should just make it all one division, if you ask me, because then Troy would be third or fourth best.
They've won the conference twice in a row and gone to the tournament twice in a row.
Oh, in basketball?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that times have changed, see? But it's still not like North Carolina. North Carolina really is a basketball country.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be – it's going to be curious. And, I mean, there is – you've got the big boy jobs. There are other jobs that are coming open. And, I mean, just like, just the Creighton job's open. I mean, it's just now getting open. So, and you did say he was at USF, right? You did say he was a coach at USF.
Yeah, he was in South Florida for a while.
And South Florida's coach, didn't he just leave too?
Well, if he did after 1 year.
Yeah, I think he left and went somewhere else. I think.
And then the Cincinnati job's open, right?
Yes.
The Bearcats.
Yep, Cincinnati's open.
And then when Will Wade –
really not a mid-major anymore.
Yeah, and then Will Wade leaves.
But I tell you, it's like the big boy jobs, they're the coaching searches for the big boy jobs. They aren't coaches searches anymore. You're not calling, Ben Fletcher saying, hey, what would you think about coming here? You're calling the agent. That's an agent search. Hey, what would it take to get your guy here?
Yeah.
I think the deals are made before the teams even talk to the coach when these big boy jobs. So, I mean, it's different now. A friend of mine asked me a football question. Is Josh Heupel on the hot seat this year at Tennessee? I was like, well, the hot seat's different now than it was even 5 years ago. The hot seat 5 years ago was you're losing to teams you should beat. 2-3 years ago, it's, well, you're winning, but you're not getting us to the playoffs. Now it's going to be we're throwing $20, $30, $40 million at your roster, and where's our national championship? That's your hot seat now.
Yeah, and you got to get to the tournament for basketball. You got to get to the college football playoff for football. You have to get there. That's the barometer check. And if you can't, and that's why it's always on the list. How many times he's been to the tournament? How many times we've been to the college football playoff? And that's a big kicker. Let me ask you, we got about a minute before we have to take our next break. Give us your pick for the new North Carolina Tar Heel basketball job.
I think they're going to take a run at Nate Oates, but I would go Scott Drew at Baylor if I were them. First, you're going to get him for probably 10 years at least. Second, it's going to give you a recruiting advantage over Kentucky because he was their number one. He was their top choice 2 years ago, and he said no. You can tell a recruit, oh, you're thinking about Kentucky instead of us? Well, our coach, he was offered that job 2 years ago, and he said no. But now he's with us. That's a good recruiting tool right there. But I think Scott Drew, he's ready to leave Baylor.
Yeah.
And there's one last thing I'd like to say.
Mm-hmm.
On the women's side, last night, South Carolina beat Southern California by 40, 101-61. Don't you think that South Carolina now has the distinction of being able to use a moniker USC instead of Southern California?
No. They don't have the history or the success. I mean, it's just women's basketball.
And women's basketball?
And women's basketball. But you can't do it just for just that little bitty sport because that's like, the fourth biggest sport around, really? It's because, and I hate to say it, it's kind of because it's women's athletics. So they just don't get the support that the men's
don't get the support.
do.
Yeah.
And it's sad, but it's true. Now, let me ask you one more question before we go and let you go. Ole Miss, 3 wins in the SEC tournament. What is this bode for next year?
It depends on retention. Who you're going to keep. That's every team in the country. I don't care if you're winning the national championship or you don't even go to the tournament. How many players can you keep from transferring? That's the point for Chris Beard right now. You got to sell these kids. See what we did the tournament? We can do that in the regular season. You just got to stick around to help us do it. That's the big thing. You got to retain your kids.
Well, Steve, we appreciate your time, my friend. We are going to take our next break, and hopefully your bracket won't be busted after next week.
Well, we'll see.
All right, Steve Barnes from therebelwalk.com. When we come back, we're going to dive into this coaching search, and don't forget at the top of the hour, we got Coach Blue from Gulf Coast coming right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Reach out and smack someone. Call or text now. 850-215-6290. The Red 7T studio line. It's here. The 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida app version 2.0. Now featuring ultra high fidelity. You'll feel like you're in the game. Plus, more opportunities to win weekly prizes from local businesses when you click it to win it. Download the 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida app today at Google Play or the Apple Store.
It's March, which means it's tournament time. At Coin and Bullion Reserve's fine jewelry. Colored gemstones are making a fast break. Emeralds, sapphires, rubies. Select colored gemstones up to 80% off. Regular prices? Bench. This is your shot to score some serious sparkle. Only at Coin and Bullion Reserve's fine jewelry. Hurry in before the final buzzer.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? If competitive pricing and a quick turnaround are what matter to your business, come see us at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, or you can give us a call at 850-326-3000. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport, the best place in town to take a leak.
Your home for college basketball. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Tomorrow night, your Auburn Tigers versus the Nevada Wolfpack. It's the NIT quarterfinals with a trip to the Final Four on the line. Coverage from Neville Arena starts tomorrow at 7:30 on your home for the Auburn Tigers.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Get off the sidelines.
This is where your life finally comes together.
And into the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. Exclusively on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. We are live and local right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for Orlando Magic basketball. They'll be taking on the Cavaliers at 6:30 tonight, and we're pumped up about it. Hopefully they can get back in the win column with the Magic. Also, don't forget, if you want to be a part of the show, you can be 850-215-6290, the Red 7T's phone line. And we're going to actually go right to it right now. We got old Big Nate on the line wanting to talk about his 4-year, $168.6 million extension with $120 million guaranteed, making Smith in Jigba the highest paid wide receiver in America. Nate, how you doing today, my friend?
Well, I'm telling you right now, Mr. Paul, that I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, the kid, everybody that talks about this kid, JSN, he's not what you expected, but it's what you hope for. And he proved himself to every degree that you put him. You tested him, he proved it. He just, and people are like, well, what about Sam Darnold? Well, Sam Darnold, I'm sorry to say it, as good as he is, still needs to prove himself.
Oh, man.
He did a good job. The last 2 years, he's done a good job. But he didn't have to do what JSN had to do. He had to go out there and, earn those yards after the catch. I mean, if you look at his stats, they're touting his stats, right?
Yeah.
As being some of the best. His yards after catch is what made the difference of why he got so many yards. Now, here's the double-edged sword of that, okay? I really appreciate them setting a high standard for him because they can afford to do it now. So they want to win now, which is what they're trying to prove. That they can still fill him around, have plenty of talent around him to make it happen and then worry about the rest later on. And as long as everybody buys into that and doesn't become a Terrell Owens or a Chad Ochocinco, you don't have that with him. He's very humble. He got what he deserved. All right. He put up with the DK. He put up with Tyler Lockett. Well, he didn't put up with Tyler. He learned from Tyler Lockett. And I'm just telling you right now that it's going to pay dividends as long as he stays healthy. Now, a lot of that's going to come down to the rest of the team, which is where we're going to have to look at the draft because we did lose some key free agents, but I think there were free agents that were okay to let go. Like K9, I honestly think that the Chiefs overpaid for him.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, bar none. And the only reason I know that is because I know his medical history, and a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
Okay? Plus, they're looking at bringing over the guy from Green Bay, and they have Hanoi there, and they also got a new they got Charbonnet in waiting as well as McIntosh. So they got a room full of really talented running backs. It's just that a couple of them are coming off of rehab. So this is why you're going out and getting those cheaper free agents on one-year deals to try to bolster that competition and get everybody on the same page.
But you know as well as I do, though, whether they have that running back, I think, again, Jeff sometimes disagrees with me. I think running backs are plug and play. I don't think in the NFL, if you get a running back, if he's not good, you cut him, you find a free agent, and you just keep trying until you figure it out.
Right. No, and I agree with that type of mentality. I mean, we all last year we ran with two running backs, and the only reason why K9 was so fresh for the playoffs and why he did so well is because Zach took half the freaking carries.
Yeah.
And set him up to be like 100% come playoff time, which worked out perfectly for the Hawks. We got lucky. If we would have had Zach in there, it would have been even worse for everybody else. Because Zach, honestly, in my opinion, was a better running back.
And that's a set of fresh legs.
More consistent across the board. They were pulling K9 out and putting Zach in. Zach did his business. He was there. So what I'm saying is this one thing. JSN deserved what he got, all right? We don't have any other receivers on the team that really fit his mold. I mean, we got Jake Bobo for, $5.5 million.
Right.
Okay, great. It's a steal. He's also a special teams player. Awesome. We still have Kupp on a really cheap, Hall of Fame, let's get him in the Hall of Fame deal, And they've got a great tight end in Barner. So, I mean, all Sam has to do, hand the ball off when he needs to, and make a throw once or twice. And they can do what they need to do. Now, the biggest problem is they're in the NFC West with the most dominant offenses in the NFL. So, our defense has to step it up again, which has been our moniker, and I'm not worried about it. But it's going to be a different year next year. There's a lot of talent on the board that I think a lot of people are overlooking. And we're going to see how this draft class does, and I'm ready for some football already. So let's get to the draft. Let's get going. And as far as them going to 18 games, they just need to move the season up, okay? They don't need to be playing in winter. They need to be playing in, July, preseason.
Ooh, that's going to be a
tough.
So
OTA is, right after the draft. You go in for another couple of weeks of a break, and you put these guys to the test, and you give them 2 bye weeks. Easy smeezy.
They're not going to be ready for that. They're not going to be ready.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
You know what? They're making money. Tell them to shut up and play.
That's right. Well, Nate, we appreciate the call, my friend. You're definitely good on that. When you think about it, he's right. I mean, but I don't know, man. It's just so hard. When you have a wide receiver that's this good, you worry about that injury. You worry about it, and you're stuck with all of this money. And they're just so – because getting to my point, and I know it's basketball season. We're going to get off of it here in just a moment. But am I right that the running back is plug and play?
Yeah. I mean,
could I be also right, though, that wide receivers, there's so many good wide receivers.
No. Don't do it,
Are
Paul.
you
I'm going to tell
telling
you
me-
wrong right now, and then I'm going to say something else, and you tell me what I'm wrong, what I'm about to say.
I can always tell you what you're wrong on. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
JSN shouldn't have got a contract this year.
Why?
Because he was stuck in that rookie deal.
Yeah.
And he should have waited at least another year and then get them. Because you know what this was not? An extension. They called it an extension, but it was not. It was tearing up of the rookie contract that he was stuck under, where he's getting paid considerably less than he's shown us his value, right?
Right.
It's not an extension. An extension, adds on. This is not an extension. They ripped up the old one, gave him 4 years from now. So, I mean, I just don't agree with it. $42 million a year for 4 years.
With 120 guaranteed.
You didn't even have to do it because you had him under contract. You had him stuck in Seattle on a rookie contract. And that's where you get the most value out of your players, is when they have that rookie maximum.
Yeah, but you also are locking your guy down so that it doesn't cause distraction, because you really got him emotionally tied to your team because the Seattle Seahawks just won the Super Bowl. So that's what they did. They're like, okay, how do we get the most out of this so that right now, because they know as well as I do, you're telling me that that's his third year, so he's got what, one more year left? Or is it 2 more years left?
2 more years.
2 more years left on his rookie deal, okay? In 2 more years from now.
And then the option year.
Yeah, but listen, 2 more years from now.
Yeah.
How much do you think the highest paid wide receiver is going to be?
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be outrageous. So they went ahead.
You think it'd be 200?
Oh yeah, they went ahead and locked him down for $42 million instead of $65 million, which is probably in the next 2 years is going to be $65 million a year.
So he's been in the league 2 years?
3. This is third. That was his third year.
Oh, I thought it was his second year.
Yeah, so that's his third year.
Oh, now I understand it. Okay,
Yeah,
my
so
time
that's why,
frame
yeah,
was off.
they're trying to lock him down.
God, I can't believe he's been in the league that long.
Yeah, he was. He was not very productive in his first year.
Yeah.
Kind of getting, used to it. Plus you had DK Metcalf there, Tyler Lockett there, and then after his first year, he really started coming on the scene, and then last year obviously led the league.
So he was not there for the national championship year?
For Ohio State? No.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
He was there when Georgia was winning back-to-back.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But, I mean, when you look at that, but
no, I don't agree with your wide receiver take, no.
You don't?
No.
Still not?
Absolutely not, no.
Okay. So there's a bunch of wide receivers in the NFL right now
a bunch of them.
that you can kind of
and you better hold on to them.
So let me ask you this: if Smith and Jigba went and played with, Joe Burrow, would you get the same deal out of him that you're getting out of Jamar Chase? If Justin Jefferson went and played with Seattle,
But you have
would
to
it be
get
the same?
these players.
Would it be the same?
You're saying you can just I'm sorry. I'm not understanding your plug and play type situation.
You've got so many stars now. There's so many of these guys. You're gonna
and you think that
I don't know.
No, there's definitely more. I don't want to say more of a pyramid with wide receivers
than there is with running backs.
Yes, and that's the reason why the correlation between what you say about running backs that they're all like level. No, wide receivers are not like that.
They're not getting more plateaued. They're still a triangle.
They're more of a triangle.
You're saying triangle, not plateau.
Yes.
Running backs are plateaued.
Yes.
Wide receivers are triangles. Tight ends are plateaus. I think so.
They're an oval. No, I'm joking.
No. But either way, we'll get back to football during football season.
Yeah.
Real quick, North Carolina. Right before we came on the air. It's been reported out of Raleigh that they're going to be making
Chapel Hill.
Sorry. Raleigh News is who.
Oh, okay. Raleigh News.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
gotcha.
they are the ones that I read the article. And they are saying that here in the next couple of hours, which that was an hour ago, they're looking like North Carolina is going to make the move and get rid of Hubert Davis.
Okay. I thought you were going to just give me the new name.
Oh, no.
I was like, Nate Oates? What? What is going on?
The new name is probably not going to be named because I guarantee you somebody The only other option is Bill Self. The only other option is Bill Self. Everybody that's in the Sweet 16 right now, you better grab your coach and hold on to him because North Carolina is about to call.
The shark is in the water.
Yeah, I'm just saying the blood's in the water and the shark has just been let loose.
Wow.
So what I'm saying is everybody but Bill Self right now is in play. So 16 coaches. Obviously, you're not going to you're going to take Cal out of that conversation. You're going to take Rick Barnes out of that. Patino's gone. Yeah. Sampson's out of that. Yeah. They're not going to grab any of those 4 guys. So that leaves 12 coaches that are coaching right now, and I'm sure there's another one here or there, but you've got 12 coaches plus Bill Self, because Bill Self has not answered any questions about whether or not he's coming back to Kansas next year. Would it be surprising to you if Bill Self leaves Kansas and takes over this program?
I mean, we've seen this story before, because where did Roy Williams come from?
He came from Kansas.
Yeah.
I mean,
and so they found success with that. Why not go with the same peanut butter and jelly?
And you know as well as I do, what are they going to do with that? They're going to get Roy Williams on the phone, because he had something to do with Bill Self taking over at Kansas after he left, because Roy Williams is a Kansas man. You know, I mean, he loves the Jayhawks. But when you look at it, I'm sure Bill Self has got some evaluating to do. What would you do? If you could put yourself in Bill Self's shoes right now, would you take the job?
Well, see, here's the problem, is that I don't want to say I value quality of life and where I live. I would rather live in North Carolina than Kansas. And I'm sorry. I mean, people love Kansas, people especially who are from the area and everything, not just Kansas, but like, Missouri and Oklahoma and everything. I mean, I just generally just would like to live in North Carolina compared to Kansas any day.
Yeah.
And it's a quality of life thing.
And you're a geographical guy.
I am. And
you're a sightseer.
And I'm a Southerner. I can't deal with those winters, man. Do not bring it down here.
Yeah, but you're also a traveler, and you like libraries and historical buildings and fixtures. And
always a library.
Architecture.
I don't think I've been to a library in quite a few years.
So you can't read or you can read? What is it?
So let me ask you a question now. Now we're talking about UNC coaching
well,
position.
You better hurry up. We've got a minute.
Okay. Is that the equivalent of Ohio State? And
yes.
Duke is the Michigan, and Alabama for football is the Kentucky for basketball.
No, Duke is the Ohio State right now. I mean, they're in it every year. Yeah,
but I thought North Carolina is the Ohio State. You're saying
no. North Carolina is your Alabama right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, because they haven't done anything in a long time. They've done pretty good, but they haven't done anything as far as winning championships in a pretty good little while now. It's a little stretch.
Okay.
So, but either way, we are going to go ahead and take our next break. When we come back, Gulf Coast State College Commodore head basketball coach, Lane Blue, right here. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The Red 70s studio line is now open. 850-215-6290.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The Sports Blitz.
How did you like the Savannah Bananas? From what I've seen, it's a lot of men twerking with their clothes off, shaking their butts in those tight.
They keep their clothes on.
They got their shirts off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they take their shirts off. It looks like to me a baseball Magic Mike performance. I'm sorry.
The Sports Blitz.
Live and local, weekdays 4 to 6.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Anna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Tuesday's weather forecast. Partly cloudy the remainder of the day with temps near 74 and a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly clouds tonight, a moderate breeze out of the east and a temperature of 58. About the same tomorrow, around 71 with some clouds and a wind coming out of the east around 8 miles per hour. Sunny Thursday, a light breeze and hot around 73. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of
Mike check, Coach Blue.
Right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top shelf.
Mike check, Coach Blue.
the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros 14 large screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd.
WGSX Lynn WVLQ Port St. Joe, ESPN Northwest Florida.
At Brock Lawn and Pest Control, we're proud to be awarded the distinction of being Quality Pro certified.
Our technicians have passed rigorous training in eco-friendly application and prevention of pest treatments.
Part of the program is the practice of integrated pest management.
IPM's goal is to prevent pests from ever entering your home. It includes
it was like a drag,
prevention,
hit the next guy,
education,
and then
when necessary,
and then that
application.
corner got
We're proud to be Quality Pro certified.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control, the standard and
I know,
level
I
of
was
trust.
ESPN Northwest
I like that play with this.
CAA Men's Basketball Championship Tournament plays here.
Why they kept putting 7 on the perimeter for 13? That's what coaches and do something too, man. That's what coaches normally do. Or take it out to the push on the play.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
I look like 80 a mini.
Global reach.
Number 15 was minus 17 in like 9 minutes. I don't remember him playing, honest to God. I remember him edging some offense. I literally don't remember one thing he did in the game. It's all like this. Nah, he wasn't playing. Yeah. He had the one sleeve on. I just said back to work for him. That just started one of the guys that he's
Lil Cash with another hit with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. So they talk trash and they talk easy. When it comes to sports betting, too legit. It's 104.3 ESPN. If you sports better chime in. NFL, local sports they got it. NBA they got it. Sports Blitz, the show hottest what's happening. Better tune in to go watch it. Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. If you even tried, you can't stop it. Bone Crusher gon' pop it. No Jeff gon' pop it. Go like, comment, subscribe, and share right now.
We are live and local right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for all things college basketball. And don't forget tonight, the Magic play against the Cavaliers right here, 6:30, right after the show, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We are pumped up and ready to go. We are excited because, Jeffrey, we are joined by an Elite 8 coach from Gulf Coast State College. Coach Lane Blue is on right now. Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm good, man. You guys doing all right?
Oh, we're doing fantastic. You know, I'm going to say this. I know that you kind of busted me a couple of weeks ago about your name. I'm just going to say I've been watching ESPN Plus.
Yeah. Well, that means I haven't made it yet, right?
That's right. I just want to make
if
sure
that
if
they're not saying your name right, you haven't been good enough, in my opinion.
That's right.
Keep going.
That's right. They have been given, some good talks. I will say, though,
I can't hear you. You've cut out on me.
On that. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. So last night, as we were watching the game, there was a lot of things that I want to ask you about. So when you look at the way you guys were able to rebound, specifically Francis having the 11 rebounds, how important is that playing against a team that likes to hit the boards really hard?
Extremely important. I mean, Iron's done that all year for us. He was in foul trouble early. A lot more, to be honest. He usually plays about 30, 33 minutes. He only got to play 23 last night. And so, but it's huge. He made some huge plays, had some huge rebounds late, some huge offensive ones, and, it can be the difference in winning or losing.
When you played, kind of was able to scout him a little bit But realistically, when you get into tournaments like this where you're having to play consecutive games and you're not so much getting a lot of time to prepare, is it more about what you're doing, or is it really do you game plan against what they're doing?
A little of both. I mean, you've got to be who you are, but, you know, we got done playing Saturday at 10 o'clock, and we knew who we were playing, and we already had a scout ready, so – you know, we turned the page Sunday and locked in, had a good day of prep Sunday, a couple different film sessions, and then Monday we did some stuff on the floor again and had more film on Monday, and then played at 8 o'clock. So by the time we played Saturday to Monday, we had 4 film sessions with the guys, been on the floor twice, working on different things, walking through things. So, you know, it has challenges for sure, but you want to give the guys a feel of what they're going to be playing against.
When you look at how you won this one really close, and then obviously you don't want to look ahead just yet because I think the other game is possibly going to be against Northwest Florida. They play tonight. Am I correct in that?
Yes.
Okay. So when you look at that, isn't it kind of strange that there's a chance that you're going to play a team that you've played here and at their place? And how important is it going to be to make sure that your guys are rested and, you know, because you split with them over the time here, correct?
They actually got us 2 out of 3, so we'll be looking for a little payback. We got the last one at our place, which was a huge game, but they got us at their place, and they played really well at our place early in the year. So, you know, both games present challenges. They're extremely well coached. Northwest super talented, and Vincent's coach has won a national title as well and been really good there for a long time. So we're going to go watch the games tonight, and we'll see who we got. I'm expecting a war either way.
So Trent led the team. Well, him and Cobb did. He had 16. Cobb had 17. But let's talk about Cobb. How crazy was it, or how I say crazy, how important was those threes that he hit? And as far as, you know, those shots, it just seemed like he had the hot hand. He was confident. One time there was nobody under the basket to rebound, and he immediately put it up and hit the bottom. But talk about Cobb for just a second, how good he was.
Yeah, he's made some huge shots in the tournament already in both games. In crunch time, he's made threes in both games that were huge, and one layup in the Brunswick game. But, I mean, he plays with a lot of confidence and swagger, and, you know, he got a good open look at the end of the game last night and knocked it down. I mean, I don't think anybody on our team was shocked that he shot it or that he made it, you know. He had his feet set and got a good look and let it ride.
So I do a thing where when I'm watching games, I always watch the coaches. And last night I was watching, and they had the camera down when there was time. You had Aiden Cocker, who came in last week with you in the studio over here, and he was going to the free throw. And I watched you tell him, none of this will matter if you'll just make these free throws and end this game. Did you know without a doubt that he was going to make those shots to end the game?
I mean, he's our highest percentage guy, so I felt confident. He's made some big ones for us throughout the year in clutch situations. So, but I wanted to call a timeout since it was a one-on-one and not 2 shots, just so we could set up we were going to foul if he did happen to miss it and not allow them to get a 3 off and shoot 2, and then we go press offense again. But he made both, so we were in a great spot.
So was that your call to throw the ball in to Trent and then have him throw it back to Aiden because you knew that they were going to foul?
Yeah, and you know, he's a good decision maker. Assistant turnover's good. Trent, I felt like could get the ball, and so we set up a press-o, and then we knew they'd trap, so he wanted to catch it a little higher on the floor than the coffin corner, which we did. And then they came to trap, and he got it right back to the inbounder, and they foul a guy that's 80-plus from the free throw line, so that was good.
So coming in at the half, you guys were up, and you were up pretty big, and it seemed like, you know, it was going your way. What was your message at halftime to them? Because obviously you know how it works. You know that they're going to come out with their best stuff, and you're going to have to, you know, weather the storm, so to speak. So what was your message to them at halftime?
Honestly, nothing with the score. It was all schematical adjustments, things offensively, etc. And 10 different points that we thought were important for the game. And so I didn't say anything about the score, to be honest. I mean, 6 points isn't very much, and basketball, that can change quickly, 2 possessions. So really just things that I thought we had to do better in the second half.
How's the accommodations going? Are you guys able to use a gym somewhere close? Is that kind of what you're doing? And then are you guys staying in like a hotel with like all the other teams, or is there, are you kind of off to yourself?
Yeah, we're sharing a hotel with a couple other teams. Really nice hotel. They've got gyms right by the actual Hutch Arena, so we're walking distance when we pull up to the arena to get to the practice gym, and it's been great. It's a really well-ran tournament, and it feels like a national tournament when you walk in the building. So it's been a really cool experience for all of our guys.
So I noticed it seemed like Indian Hills traveled pretty good last night. Were they pretty loud? Because we couldn't really hear them on the TV, but you could tell that they must have been kind of, obviously you know how basketball is. You've been doing this for a long time, not only coaching but playing. You know that the crowd affects people. And at the half, when Trent made that last basket, he made some crowd. Was Indian Hills pretty loud there? Did it seem like an away game for you guys?
I wouldn't say an away game, but they definitely had a good presence. They did travel well, and, it's a storied program, and, they've won national titles and been to Final Fours and Elite Eights, and so, it was cool for us to get the win. They did have a good crowd, and, that was their first game out there, so they were ready to go.
How's this been for your family? Obviously, we've been seeing on Facebook that some of your family from your wife's side, your side of the family. How cool is it to have all your family there supporting you, Coach?
Really cool, but that's been pretty standard my whole career. I've had great support from my family and friends, and obviously my wife Anna and daughter Collins and Knox have been at all the games, and then parents, grandparents, etc. So it's been really cool for sure. I think they're as excited as our players are, when we win the game. So it's been really cool.
Well, I don't want to hold you too much longer because I know time is of the essence. I know you got a lot of stuff you're doing and a busy schedule, and we are so thankful that you took the time out to come on with us and talk. So just so you know, we're all watching, we're all cheering, everything that we can do. I will say this, my 9-year-old that I have at home, he stayed up and watched it with me and my wife, and I'm just going to tell you this, the Wilson household is a 9:30 p.m. bedtime, but we went all the way till 10:17 supporting those Commodores. So you guys keep doing it and keep handling business.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys having me on as always.
All right, my friend. Coach Lane Blue from the Gulf Coast Commodores. You can check their game out. Tomorrow they'll be playing the winner, and it could possibly be Northwest Florida. Thank you so much, Coach. We appreciate you. So there it is. When you look at how good they've been playing in the stretch, it's been a good deal for them to get practice. We went and watched them, and I'm telling you, just like this, the same way that they played over here is the same way that they're playing up there. And it's a crazy thing because when you see how physical it is, it's a physical game, and you saw it firsthand. Oh, yeah. And it's staying the same way. They're not calling a lot of fouls, and they're only, the referees, even if it's just a hold or a pull, and it's just crazy because you see the same thing just about the same. I mean, there's a couple of teams that are really big. Yeah. So, I mean, it looks like a Division I basketball team because that's what it is. JUCO, a lot of times it's because they either were missed or they didn't have the grades, or, they may have gotten in some kind of trouble and they had to go the JUCO route, all of these things. But you're seeing top-notch, and it's just like what Coach Blue said, Division I players on every team that they play going forward, so being in the Elite Eight.
Well, also, I mean, you got to think about some of these players. It's location or what high school you went to. Because if you just aren't getting the coverage or your team just isn't winning like their district, then you don't attract the attention and you don't get the big, scholarships and all that. I will disagree a little bit, though.
Mm-hmm.
JUCO is more physical.
Do you think so?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I've been watching these games, both sides, and JUCO is more physical. And you don't want to say that. It makes me almost wonder if, like, the minor leagues for hockey is like just an all-out brawl.
Yeah.
Because they just let them do it.
Yeah, I don't know, because it's like and you're exactly right. I mean, you were shocked. I told you about it. Then I said, you got to come watch it. When you came, you were like, oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
they let
like
them go
mugging.
through. They go through the lane, and everybody touches the person with the ball.
Oh, yeah.
And you know how they, and that's something that they teach these kids at a young age is when you dribble into the lane and you're ready to pull the ball up and take your steps, you almost kind of cover it up.
Oh, I didn't do that.
Yeah, you didn't, because they caught, if you got slapped on the arm, it's a foul.
Yeah.
But now it's not. You got to be able to take the punishment, push through, and make the basket. And Trent Lincoln, he had 16.7 rebounds, 5 assists last night. So I mean, he almost had a triple-double. But really, like what we were talking about, Cobb, he hit 2 threes in the last minute and a half that really stretched them. The thing about it is they only won by 2, but they were up by 3. So then Cobb, the ball goes out of bounds or almost out of bounds off of the Indian Hills miss. So Cobb goes to grab the ball out of bounds. At that time, the Indian Hills guy jumps in front of him, and so Cobb throws the ball off of the Indian Hills guy, goes out of bounds. Yeah. So Gulf Coast is up by 3 with 5.7 seconds to go.
And the ball.
And the ball.
Yeah.
On their end, on the other end of the floor, though. They got to go the distance. So Trent, they throw the ball into Trent. Trent immediately throws it back to Aiden Calker. They foul Aiden Calker. He hits both free throws.
So it's 5.
So up by 5 with 3.7 seconds to go.
Wow, so much happens in this little amount of time at the end of the game.
So they got 3 seconds to go, 3.7 seconds to go, and then all of a sudden they throw it in, and the kid from Indian Hills hits a 3 with no time to go.
No time.
So
but
that's
you're down by 5. So
so he made it a 2-possession game, so it looked like it was closer than it was, and it really was close. Because had they had a turnover right there, if the ball wouldn't have went out of bounds, or if he would have thrown it when he threw the ball against the Indian Hills guy, and it would have come back and hit the Gulf Coast guy, then it could have been Indian Hills guy ball with 5 seconds to go with down by 3.
So when Coach Blue gets the call from Chapel Hill, I hope he remembers the little people like me and you.
If he gets the job at North Carolina, do you think he'll give me the first interview? No chance.
Yeah, no chance.
But, I mean, that's how it works, though. These guys, they work their way up by going through the ranks of, these younger coaches.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, the thing is that you heard what he said. He said the Northwest Florida coach, he's won national champions. He's been to this tournament several times. He's played in a lot of tournament games, and he's still there. So some of these guys, to your point earlier, they like where they are.
Yes.
They stay where they're at. Their family's happy. They're happy. And they do life because it makes them happy. Living in Florida in the sunshine instead of taking a job in wherever just because
Minnesota.
Just because they're a blue blood
Yeah.
doesn't always pan out to be.
Yeah.
So either way, that was a great interview. I'm so thankful that he took the time out. We're pulling for him. We're hoping that they pull this off. There's only 8 teams left, and so they'll play tomorrow, and I'm excited about it.
When the Lane Kiffin thing was being thrown around by LSU, there were people in the comments saying, "Who wants to go live in Baton Rouge?" Seriously, there was, and I was like, well, some people do. And
Is that a good point? Because I've never really been to Baton Rouge. I've never been to Tiger Stadium or nothing like that. So.
Yeah, I mean, the city as itself it has the biggest oil refinery in the world. Is in North Baton Rouge, and it's an eyesore. And that's what people look at, and some people think that, it's not just a whole bunch of rich neighborhoods.
Yeah.
But a lot of college campuses might be near an area that's not as nice as others, So, I mean, Tuscaloosa, I've been there. Yeah, it was okay. Yeah,
I mean, it's fine. It's not bad, but there's, Northport is the suburb of it, and that's a really nice area.
Yes.
And so a lot of people go there. That's where I think Coach Saban's Mercedes dealership is. So,
Yeah.
I mean, nice area there. So,
Yeah.
there's not nice areas in Baton Rouge?
Oh,
like
no.
that
Dale
around?
Brown lived in the Garden District, and Shaq, when he first saw Dale Brown's house, he was like, oh, my God, it's a mansion. Look at all this, I want to live in a house like this. It's Shaq now.
Yeah.
He's like worth $500 million or maybe $1 billion now.
Yeah.
And he can afford Dale Brown's house 20 times over easily.
Yeah, well, we're going to go ahead and take a break before we start talking about the worst college basketball coach in the history of college basketball coaches, Dale Brown. He's not going to North Carolina, that's for sure. Either way, we will be right back talking March Madness right here. You're listening to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Text us now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. Your home for college basketball. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Tomorrow night, your Auburn Tigers versus the Nevada Wolfpack. It's the NIT quarterfinals with a trip to the Final Four on the line. Coverage from Neville Arena starts tomorrow at 7:30 on your home for the Auburn Tigers.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good evening. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Tuesday. Mostly clouds tonight with a gentle breeze coming out of the east at 10 miles per hour, and look for the low to be 62. Tomorrow morning, there will be some clouds with the temperature reaching 68. Partly sunny in the afternoon and evening with a wind around 8 miles per hour and a high of 73. Thursday will have a high of 75 and sunshine. This weather is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
You've been low-key thinking about dropping a podcast. Well, now is the time to start, brah. Sports, politics, finance, science, health, real estate, music, interviews, surfing, conspiracy theories, or alien abductions. Ready to main character your own content? We can make it happen with Turnkey Podcast Productions from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Our local, modern, state-of-the-art multimedia recording studio is now available for booking, starting at just $100 an episode. Take your fandom to the next level. For more information, text the keyword studio to 850-215-6290. Text studio to 850-215-6290. Text studio 215-6290 or jam over to ESPNPC.com. Bruh.
Got a scratch, dent, or full-blown wreck? Bring it to Recommended Collision Center in Panama City. From small scratches to all-over paint jobs, from fender benders to major collisions, it's Recommended Collision Center. They work with all insurance companies and offer customer pay options too. A family-owned collision center that takes pride in top-quality repairs, friendly service, quick drop-offs, and a fast turnaround. So when life throws you a wreck, they'll help you get amended. Recommended Collision Center, 1329 Jinx Avenue, Panama City.
The pulse of the fan. The voice of the game.
Maybe we should go and find another G League player to the Alabama team, and we probably could win.
Local and louder than ever. This is the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are back live and local right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for Orlando Magic basketball right here in the Panhandle. Tonight, the Magic take on the Cleveland Cavaliers at 6:30. And then don't forget tomorrow, little NIT action with the Auburn Tigers taking on the Nevada Kaepernicks. I'm just kidding.
Wolfpack.
I know. I was just giving it to you, Jeffrey.
That's
where
no.
Isn't that where Kaepernick went?
Yeah, Kaepernick. That's the only person.
That's what I said, Nevada.
Yeah.
Kaepernicks.
That's all they're known for.
There
it's
you
not
go.
very good.
No, not very good. I kind of got you going there. But either way, you want to be a part of the show, you can be 850-215-6290, the Red 7T's phone line. Jeffrey, when you look at how many Big Ten teams are in this tournament, we've got to talk about it. I know that the ACC has dominated basketball for years upon years upon years. You've got the Dukes, so you got the North Carolinas, you got the Louisvilles, you got all of these teams, North Carolina State, Wake Forest, all these teams that have been really good, that put a lot of people in the pros. But now have we seen a shift to the Big Ten? This year alone, there are 6 teams in the Big Ten. So half of the Sweet 16 almost is Big Ten teams. You got Michigan, Purdue, Michigan State, Illinois, Nebraska, and the Iowa Hawkeyes. And that's the thing I don't like. Alabama, Arkansas, Tennessee, Texas, SEC. Is it more shocking that the Big Ten has this many, or is it more shocking that the ACC has Duke and Duke alone from the ACC in the Sweet 16?
That is, the ACC thing is a little more shocking than the Big Ten. It's also shocking is that not only does the SEC have 4, which I kind of thought was possible, but there's no Kentucky or Florida.
Right.
Where's the Blue Bloods?
Right.
I mean, that's shocking in itself.
Yeah.
I mean
Alabama.
Who would have thought that we'd be in this situation?
Alabama has been in here, but you also, let's talk about Alabama first. Alabama, Nate Oates has done an incredible job to get Alabama into the tournament consistently. It's a consistent thing. If Nate Oates is coaching in Tuscaloosa, he's getting in the tournament, and that's crazy. But then when you look at a team like Arkansas, you got to look at the coach, and you got to say that Coach Cal is the reason why Arkansas has turned it around. And now you've got this team called Kentucky, who I don't know. I think Kentucky is in the same situation with Mark Pope as Alabama is with Kalen DeBoer. He's done good enough to get into the playoff. He's done good enough to get into the NCAA tournament, but they want championships. The whole reason behind getting Coach Cal out of there, it wasn't number 1 draft picks. It wasn't making the tournament. It wasn't making the Sweet 16. It was the fact that championships have not been garnered in Rupp Arena with a piece of fabric hanging down from the Raptors that they want in Lexington.
So you're telling me at Alabama basketball, all you have to do is just get into the tournament?
To keep people happy, yes.
Because you know who has more tournament wins than Wimp Sanderson?
Yeah, Nate Oates.
Dale Brown.
Nate
Brown has more, actually has a winning record in the NCAA tournament.
Nate Oates
and
does
more
too.
wins than Wimp Sanderson, who you talked about yesterday, I believe.
Yeah, Nate Oates has more wins in the tournament than Whip Sanderson does. And Whip Sanderson stayed there forever.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is these coaches, I don't know. I'm just going to go ahead and call it. I feel it in my gut. I feel it in my stomach.
Are you going to say?
I feel it in my.
I'm probably totally off base. What you're going to say
right
now? Go ahead.
I'm just telling you this. Nate Oates is going to be the next head basketball coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels.
Wow.
You heard it right here.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's going to happen. Now, I was wrong about Coach John Summerall going to Florida. I meant going to Kentucky. I thought he would go to Kentucky because he played there. I thought Lane Kiffin was going to Florida, but he didn't. I was wrong, right?
But this is basketball. It's
This is
different
basketball.
sport.
Nate Oates, he's going to University of North Carolina. They're not going to announce until Alabama either wins it all or loses.
So
and
you
then
don't
they're
think,
going to go.
You don't think they need ink?
No.
Ooh.
No.
Wow.
They're going to go after him, and they're going to go after him hard. Do you blame them?
Wait, who am I?
You
am
blame
I
North
blaming
Carolina.
Nate? Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say, do I blame Nate Oates for going to North Carolina?
No.
I mean, what's your position? Because you feel like you say I'm all about a map and where you're living and everything. You would rather be in Chapel Hill than Tuscaloosa?
Yeah. You would,
Yeah.
because you said that Chapel Hill's beautiful. It's got the big, nice plantation buildings and the castle.
No.
That's Duke.
That's Duke. Duke.
But I'm just saying it's close.
It is the Triangle is a nice area to live in.
But the baby blue is so pretty. You like
Tar
the baby
Heel blue, get it right.
You like the baby blue because you wear it with Ole Miss every once in a while. But I'm just saying, Do you blame North Carolina for targeting Nate Oates? Do you think?
No, I don't blame them. No.
Okay, so second question: do you think if Nate Oates goes to North Carolina, he wins a championship within 5 years?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry.
Yeah, but do you think in 5 years Alabama wins a national title?
No.
Okay.
Because of support.
Yeah. So it's a different thing.
Yeah.
It's going to be Nate Oates is going to be like Paul Bear Bryant was in Kentucky. And he's going to go
second fiddle sport.
He's going to no matter what he does, no matter how many winning seasons, no matter what he accomplishes for the Alabama Crimson Tide, no matter how many tournament wins, no matter how many people are in the stadium chanting for the Alabama Crimson Tide at the basketball arena, it does not matter. You're in second place when you go to Alabama when you're playing basketball. So, but North Carolina, that's a basketball school.
Oh, they're mad
and he
about it.
is going to go there. And then you could have every year Nate Oates and John Shire going head-to-head every year. That's made for TV right there.
I hear you.
That's all you got?
No, I mean, I don't disagree with it. I mean, it's UNC, you know, and they don't want to become irrelevant like Notre Dame football did for a while or Penn State football did for a while. And they're back, but, you know, you took 20 years off, you know. I mean, yeah, I know. Notre Dame had 1 year in, 2012 where they made the championship game. Big whoop-de-doo that got spanked by Bama.
Right.
You know?
Well, and the thing is like when you look at how good North Carolina could be, where, you know, these other teams are better and these other teams get more prospects and these other teams do better. I mean, Alabama's roster this year is better than North Carolina's roster. It is. It just is. And
but the injuries.
But
they have a lot of 5 stars. They have a lot of talent.
The drug charges. You know what I mean? So that's the other part too for Nate Oates. I think that there's starting to be a little bit of a black cloud over even though you're winning, but there's a little bit of a black cloud over the program. There's a big question on has he what's going on? How did he not know about this? How, you know, now winning and being in the tournament and all of that has kind of kept him shielded from that, so to speak. But if they would have lost early, if they would have gotten bounced by Akron or Hofstra or something like that, they had lost early, then you would have been talking about Nate Oates, what's going on with your program, what happened with this guy, why is Holloway, you know, off campus selling, you know, doing all this stuff, doing the things that they're accusing him of doing.
And it's sad that you have to be responsible for your players and their actions when they're not on the basketball court.
Right.
But it's true.
And it is true. But that's what I'm saying. Like, they correlate how good of a coach you are based on whether or not your players get in trouble or not.
So let's talk about Florida's Golden.
Yeah.
I mean, they were all about their coach. And And then they lose, and guess what? They flipped on a dime. And I felt like they've been throwing a lot of shade at that coach. And it's not from outside. It's not other schools that are doing it. It's not me. It's their own people. And it's kind of scary.
You're talking about some of the stuff that they're talking about with him losing and the way he acted, or what?
No, it wasn't even the profane whatever he said, because I didn't even see that part of it. It was it wasn't the layups. It was just the whole way he coached the game, and they're putting a lot of the blame of the Iowa loss on him and not the players.
Well, it was a shocking thing to see when you wake up on Monday morning and you start, you know, looking over news articles, or you start looking at, you know, as I was preparing for the show.
Yeah.
And one of the things that popped up was a buyout. And I couldn't believe that there was even there's even a
They were saying they had the best coach in the nation
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then now you've got people saying, well, it's $16 million buyout. I'm thinking a buyout. Why would you want to buy out for him? Golden is one of the best coaches in college basketball. Do you think he's top 5 right now? I do.
I do. Yeah.
I mean, he could be the best, if not second or third.
See, this is where I disagree. And you were saying this before about how he's maybe the best coach in all of college basketball. I don't think he's top 2. He's not top 2.
Well, who is the best coach in basketball?
Well, Cal is. Look at how way he turned that Arkansas program. I mean, this is his 3rd year. First year, he definitely did not start out very well, but then the peak went, you know, he got better as the season along. The second year, I really had high expectations, and he really just didn't deliver the second year. And now look where he's at.
Yeah, but
he beats Arizona, and you'll be agreeing with me after this. Friday they play or
I've always
Thursday?
thought Cal was a good recruiter.
Yeah.
I don't think he's an X's and O guy like Pitino. I think it had Pitino been coaching the talented teams that Cal had at UK, they would have had at least 4 more championships with the teams that he's had there. Cal knows how to get the players there, but in tough situations where they need a coach to draw up the X's and O's, he doesn't have it. I'm sorry.
No.
And I live there.
I know there's a difference.
Yeah. There's a reason why Kentucky folks wasn't dead set, upset that he left. So for me, Cal's not the best coach in the country. Yeah. Arkansas's program, you almost made it sound like, and I want to make sure that we're on the same page with this one, you almost made it sound like that they were in the bottom. Arkansas actually had been making the tournament, and they were actually pretty good.
We have not talking about national title.
Not national titles,
94, was there one? Or is it 95?
With Nolan Richardson, yeah. But I'm talking about, don't forget, a couple of years back, their coach went to the Elite Eight or something, and he had his shirt off, and he was throwing his shirt around, if you remember. So, I mean, we're not talking about an Arkansas team that hadn't been making the tournament. Cal gets there and all of a sudden gets them to the Sweet 16. That's not the case, right?
Yeah. Are they a top 20 program in college basketball?
Yeah, they are.
Arkansas is?
Yeah, they are.
Wow.
Okay. I think so. And I mean, it's because they've been winners. They do get talent. But what's surprising?
Now, okay, so let's say the last 10 years. Tennessee and Auburn, are they bigger? More success?
I don't know.
See?
Maybe.
They're on that level.
They're all kind of the plateau together.
Is Alabama on that plateau?
Not yet, but they're close.
Really?
Yeah, because he hasn't been there long enough. I mean, you're not talking about 10 solid years of being a good program that always gets the mention of the top 25 every single year.
And Vanderbilt's the next level below that with
Yeah, Vanderbilt's kind of fallen off a little bit. After their legendary coach left. Now, I do want to do this before we take a break. The round of 16 teams, I want to know, who do you think has the most enrollment in the Sweet 16 out of all those schools, the number one school enrolled?
So I know that the number for decades and decades was Texas, but Arizona gets all these California kids.
Yeah.
And that school down in Tucson has gotten huge.
Yeah, it's huge.
They do mess up numbers, though, when they include all their grad students and everything. So the number is skewed. I'm not sure how forthcoming they are with real numbers. It's kind of sad, but that school is massive. That's probably the biggest one that's still left.
None of the Michigans or the Illinois or Purdue?
Purdue's pretty big.
Or Texas? You said Texas?
Texas has always been up there. I know Texas and Purdue are probably neck and neck right up there. Arizona.
Michigan State, maybe?
Michigan State's, it's a pretty good-sized school because I don't say they get all leftovers from the Wolverines, but they kind of do.
Yeah. But where
it's going to go? It's going to go Arizona.
Yeah.
And then it's going to go probably Purdue edges out Texas, and in fourth would probably be, I guess, Michigan State, and Florida's out, so they're gone. Oh shoot, I don't know who would even be fourth, but definitely Arizona, Purdue, Texas, Michigan State. That's my top 4 right there.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right?
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
I think you got the list.
Illinois is probably in the top 8.
Yeah, they're in the top 8. Houston's up there. Michigan's up there, and then Alabama is right after Michigan.
So Alabama's recruiting. I mean, not only do they get the Tennessee, the Georgia, and the Mississippi kids and all that, but they have daily flights from Philadelphia. They heavily recruit up in Pennsylvania, and you know what they tell them? Come down and get the football experience. We're winners. You'll be cheering for winners every year. And those kids buy into it. And the amount of kids that come down from Pennsylvania down to Bama is shocking.
Yeah. So let's end the segment on give me the bottom guys. Who do you think are the bottom enrollment?
St. John's.
Okay.
Oh, God. Who else do we have in here?
I mean, you got Texas, Tennessee, Arkansas, Iowa State, Iowa.
Iowa State's got a little bit.
So I'll give you this. St. John's.
I think St. John's and then Iowa State's probably the bottom two.
Okay, so the bottom is actually Duke.
Oh, really?
And then St. John's,
and
then Nebraska, then UConn, then Iowa, then Iowa State.
Oh, my goodness.
Then Arkansas, Tennessee, Alabama, Michigan.
Iowa State's bigger than Iowa.
Iowa State.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, 25,000 by right at 3,000 students.
Yeah.
So the bottom number is Duke's at 6,500 students.
Ooh, that's like Tulane. No, it really is.
Arizona's at 45,000 students.
That enrollment just keeps on getting bigger and bigger, and they just keep on building because guess what? In Tucson, you have all this land to build on.
It's such a big gap because from Duke to St. John's, you're talking almost 10,000, like a double, 15,000. Nebraska's at 19.
St. John's has 15,000?
Yeah, 15,000 students. Yeah.
In the city. You know how expensive the land is there?
Yeah.
They gotta build up.
Alabama's got 34,000. Tennessee's got 30,000. Arkansas's got 28,000. And then
so here's the
SEC
crazy
schools.
part. So Arkansas's got 28,000, and they are the flagship school of that state. When you talk about what school you want to go to, everybody talks about the Razorbacks.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that's not good.
No. I don't know if is there anything good in Fayetteville? I don't know.
Well, Bentonville's kind of up the road at Walmart.
So, yeah, you get a job at Walmart as a greeter. So, either way, we'll come back after the break. We will discuss a little bit more about the NCAA tournament. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Call or text him now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. While other radio stations are playing national contests with winners in Timbuktu, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has real local winners.
Hi, this is Dave Neat from Panama City Beach.
Bona fide and certified local.
Man, that's fantastic. Oh, my goodness.
Keep listening to Win on the Gulf Coast.
Hell yeah, let's do it. I just won $250 from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's March, which means it's tournament time at Coit and Bullion Reserve's fine jewelry. Colored gemstones are making a fast break. Emeralds, sapphires, rubies. Select colored gemstones up to 80% off. Regular prices, benched. This is your shot to score some serious sparkle. Only at Coin and Bullion Reserve's fine jewelry. Hurry in before the final buzzer.
Hewitt Tire and Auto has been in business in Panama City forever. Locals taking care of locals. From the smallest to the largest vehicles, they do it all. But don't take my word for it. Listen to the experts.
Hewitt Tire and Auto, your certified AAA service center and hometown towing.
Visit them online at HewittTire.com.
On Airport Road in Panama City.
850-769-7323. Hewitt Tire and Auto Center and hometown towing.
Your home for college basketball. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Tomorrow night, your Auburn Tigers versus the Nevada Wolfpack. It's the NIT quarterfinals with a trip to the Final Four on the line. Coverage from Neville Arena starts tomorrow at 7:30 on your home for the Auburn Tigers.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Beyond the score. Touchdown! Beyond the headlines.
Double play!
Our coverage goes deep.
Highway robbery!
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Sports Blitz.
We are back live and local right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for the Orlando Magic. Even though they're on a 5-game losing streak, tonight could be the night to play some winning basketball. Check them out at 6:30 right here at 104.3. They'll be taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. And then don't forget a little bit of knit tomorrow. That'd be NIT. Got the Auburn Tigers playing the Nevada Wolfpack. So tune in tomorrow so you can see if Stephen Pearl can push these guys to win the NIT championship. Why do you laugh when I say that?
No, I was just thinking about Cleveland.
Does anything good come out of Cleveland?
Well, yeah, sure. They have a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And my boss is up there right now, and he was like, why in the heck they put this convention? It's a aviation convention up in Cleveland, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they doing this convention up in Cleveland, Ohio? And I said, are you going to Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I'll try and squeeze it in. And he's like, well, why are we going to Cleveland?
Yeah.
I mean, he was hard up on it. He was worse than me because you know how bad I'll talk about the Cleveland Browns.
I know.
That's not good.
It's pretty rough. So, I mean, I will say that the Red 70s phone line, Mike said a power school cannot be a Cinderella. Only mid-majors and lowers. So I just wanted you to know. Also, Neil said that Tom Izzo is the best coach in the country. And I can't disagree with you on that, Neil. You're exactly right. I go with that. Yeah, I think Izzo's the best.
So the sad part is that, you know, them being a 3 seed, I don't want to say they're lost in the mix, but we're really not talking about Michigan State enough.
No, they're really good. They're well coached.
I might have picked UConn. I have to look at my bracket. I'm pretty sure I did. But that's definitely upset alert.
I picked
all the
Michigan
way.
State.
You
So,
did?
yeah, we'll
and
see
then,
how that
And
goes.
then you had them playing Duke. And then losing.
And then losing to Duke. Yeah.
That'll be a big game.
So speaking of losing and winning, we're going to go through our brackets. So if you filled out a bracket at the Boyle House, we're going to go ahead and go through some of the names. We'll definitely give the top 10. The thing about it is we talked about it before the bracket started, and for me, yes, it matters if you pick the champion. I get it. It makes more sense. I get how the ESPN brackets and the CBS brackets and this bracket and that bracket. But I just wanted to do the bracket this year, and maybe next year we'll change it up. But this year I wanted to do just wins. If you won, you got a point. So if you won the first game of the tournament and won this last game of the tournament, they counted the same because winners win, baby. And so with that being said, we've got a lot of ties and a lot of people within striking distance. And I will say a lot of people picked Florida, and it killed sides of the bracket, me being one of them. But there again, all it takes is for one of these ones to lose, and it's going to hurt other people's winnings. So with that being said, Jeffrey, tell us some names, give us some top 10s, and give us some numbers.
Okay. We have a two-way tie for first place. Michael Holcomb is tied with Brian Alston. Should I say where he's from?
Yeah, the Lone Star Boyle House.
Yes.
And obviously Brian's not going to win, but if he wins,
he could win, but he's not going to take the
he's not going to take the
$100
first
gift
prize.
card for his own restaurant.
Yeah, he's not going to take the first prize. But he's going to be able to walk around with his chest bowed out and be able to say, I know how to pick basketball for sure.
Can I tell you, he was one behind after the first round, and the 3 people who picked 12 winners in that second round, which there's only, 16 games, right?
Yeah.
Was you, Paul.
What?
You, Brian Alston, and I couldn't read this other guy's handwriting, but anyway, another guy. It was a 3-way tie for the second round. So
wow,
you're not slouching because you fell behind in that first round, and now you're trying to make up some ground.
Yeah, well, when you looked at mine, I picked Wisconsin, I picked BYU, I picked Georgia, that was for Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher always, thinks that I don't, pull for his stuff, but I do. Akron, I thought Akron was going to win over Texas Tech, and then I lost out on St. Mary's, losing to Texas A&M, Clemson losing to Iowa, and then USF losing to Louisville. So I made Randy very happy.
At the beginning, I was tracking like the 28 wins, 27, and 26, and you were sitting down there at 25, and you gained on everybody on the second round, so you haven't given up.
Yep.
But Michael Holcomb and Brian Alston tied in first right now after 2 rounds total.
And what's their pointage?
They have a total of 39. So 28 from the first round, 20. Wait, let's see. Where's the other one? Brian. No, Brian is the one that came back too. Shoot, 27 and then 12.
Yeah.
So he was only one behind after the first round. He gained one on the second round.
Yeah.
So we have a tie for first. Only one game back. We have 4 people in a 4-way tie.
All right.
Marshawn, me,
Mm-hmm.
Jeff, Corey, and then should I just say it's your wife?
Yeah, Lindsay.
Now, when I looked at these brackets and I saw how good Lindsay was doing in the first round, I'm not saying I was giving her hate. I thought you would be proud, but I was also thinking, how much did Paul help out on this?
Well, the thing is that I didn't help her out at all because you know what the Wilsons both did.
What?
On the day at the Lone Star Boyle House is when we both picked our bracket.
Yes.
I didn't look at the bracket one time before I picked it, and she picked while the show was going on. So I definitely didn't help her out. I want her to lose. That's what you don't understand.
'Cause you're a competitor.
It's because I don't want to be second place in my own home.
Well, guess what?
It looks really
She's in
bad.
second. She's tied in second place, and you're tied with all these other guys. But after that,
I know. And this is the thing. Like I mentioned to her the other day because you had told me, you said, "Hey, your wife is like really doing good."
She's killing
and I was
it.
like, "Yeah." And I told her, I was like, "Hey, I don't know if you know this or not because we don't have the copy of her." She didn't take a picture of her, so she doesn't really know.
She forgot.
Yeah, she doesn't know what she picked, and
but she remembers one thing.
She said, "I don't really care about winning. I just want to beat you."
Ooh, wow!
So there you go. I mean, so.
But it
I
was
don't want her
one
to
thing
win.
to pick Florida to win it all for her.
Yeah, that's going to hurt.
But it was another thing to put it in big letters at the bottom with stars on each side saying "Go Gators."
Yeah. And you know what's crazy about that?
They're the
She's
first-
from Kentucky.
Oh yeah, I know.
So what is
See, that's
going
the
on?
funny part is my girlfriend is from Kentucky.
Yeah.
And she filled out one, and I didn't know she filled out one. And then I found out afterwards, oh, my girlfriend filled out a bracket, and I did not help her also. And I was like, how far she got Kentucky going? Because I thought she was going to have that bias. She did not have the bias.
No.
So
there you go.
So anyway, so we got a 4-way tie after those top 2 guys as Marshawn, your wife, me, and Corey. And then right behind that, just another point behind, is you.
Yeah, come on. 1 point behind.
Carson, who's one of the Kentucky Wildcats there at the Lone Star Boyle House.
Yeah.
David Ward.
Okay.
And my girlfriend.
What?
Yeah. But here's the difference on, if you look at who everybody's got in the final game, it's a variety of teams.
Yeah.
There's like hardly any people that have the exact same team in there. I'd say probably the most common one is a Duke Michigan final, and that's Michael Holcomb, Corey, and you, and that's it. Out of those 10, there's 3 people that have the same matchup in the final, and there's certain people that can't give up because, like my girlfriend, right? She has Arkansas and Houston. That's completely random. Like Arkansas, who's got Arkansas in the final?
Right. No.
Yeah.
But it's a possibility.
It's a possibility.
It's a
Those
big
2 teams win.
possibility.
She's taking the prize home.
Yeah, for sure. Let me see the list. I want to name some of these guys that are on here because, just give them some shout-outs here. Michael Fields.
Oh, he was killing the first round.
Yeah, he had 27 in
But
the
he
first
just
round.
died.
Yeah, he did 9 in the second. Billy Neese, 25 and 11. A.J. Chansey, 25 and 11.
Yeah. So 11's great for the second round.
Yeah, Jason Reagan, 26 and 9. Again, those top, first parts of the game. Scott Cape, 26 and 8. Yeah. Nigel, 26 and 8. Chris Hobbs, 25 and 8. Taisha, 25 and 6. And our buddy, the Tennessee Brandon Strickland, 24 and 10. Jake Young is at 22 and 8, and another Brandon, 22.
Yeah, he works with
7. And don't forget, Brandon's going to be here tomorrow. We're going to dive into a lot of the bracket with him. I want to get his opinion about some stuff. And a cool thing about tomorrow is around noon, just so everybody knows, I'm going to be going live at Instant Replay Sports Cards. I'm going to go over there, and we're going to do a little bit of a live video to do some inventory to show what's going on at Instant Replay Sports. So Aaron's going to meet me over there, and we're going to go live, and it's going to be a really fun time. So
what day is that?
That's going to be tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
And so it'll be around noon. He might have some surprises. He told me that there could be some opportunities for me to open some cards.
Ripping it open.
Wow. So, man, I'm looking for a Judge autograph, a Ohtani autograph, or whoever's autograph. I'll take Skeen's autograph, too.
Yeah,
so,
even an LSU player.
Yeah, that's right. We'll take an LSU player, just if he's left over. We'll take it. But either way, going to talk about Recommended Collision Center, your place for all things body shop wise. Your vehicle needs to look its tip-top shape. You can't just take it to people that don't know what they're doing. You don't want to go somewhere with one of your most prized possession, which is your vehicle, get you to and from work, get you to and from your child's baseball, basketball, football games, whatever. But you don't want somebody just to cookie cut you and get you in and out that's not taking time with your vehicle. Brandon and those guys take time with their vehicle. They will do you right. They're local and they're honest, and that's the biggest thing is when you're dealing with work being done on your car. How many times have you heard of people saying, "Yeah, I went to this one and they ripped me off"? You don't want to go somewhere and get ripped off. Brandon will do you right. Mention the show, you get a discount. So go see them over there on Jinx Avenue, Recommended Collision Center. He'll be in tomorrow, and he'll talk more about that. When you look at how this bracket is starting to wind up, we're very close. We got Thursday. Let me ask you this real quick. The game times are just horrific. Some of the coaches are complaining. Obviously, it's on a Thursday night. I mean, growing up, we would watch the games, and it seemed like you'd miss school during the day to watch them, but it never was at 9 o'clock, 9:45, and then the game before always ends a little late, and then you got 25 more minutes added on. So then now you're all starting at 10:15. I mean, yeah, and they asked Tom Izzo about it, and Izzo was like, I'm worried about you guys because all of you guys are older, and you're going to be asleep in the stands trying to watch the game. These young guys, they're not going to be really affected by it because they stay up all night.
And
but still,
how does that affect your next generation of audience?
Yeah,
because they're
going to bed.
The parents are going to bring their kids to these games.
No, they're not going to bring them. And they're not going to let them stay up to watch them because they got school tomorrow.
Yeah, the little ones. When I was a teenager, I definitely stayed up to like midnight to see somebody hoist a trophy.
Maybe for the championship.
Yeah, the championship.
But I'm saying these games, I mean, if you're a big Alabama fan or an Arizona fan or a Duke fan, you're going to have to record it and maybe watch it the next day, and everybody's going to tell you what the score was already.
The only people that benefit from this is bars.
Yeah.
Because they can show it on their TV, and then they have the audience there to watch these games.
And the East Coast.
It hurts restaurants.
I meant the West Coast.
Because the restaurants close up at a certain time, and then the game's still going.
Yeah, and the West Coast. The West Coast fan base, obviously they're on a different time schedule. So, but it just stinks because when you look at it, man, it's going to be really late. So think if we were on the East Coast, how late it would be.
Oh, yeah.
And,
1 o'clock in the morning?
At least we're a little bit closer. So, but either way, we've had a great show. Thanks again to Coach Blue, and we're going to be pulling for them tomorrow. We'll be talking about their game a little bit tomorrow because we'll know exactly who they're playing. You've been listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll see you tomorrow at Instant Replay Sports Cards.
The chaos lives here. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida presents March Madness.
Living up to its name, the Madness. 3, top of the key, got it.
Catch every upset, every buzzer beater, and every heart-stopping moment of the NCAA tournament.
Whitewater, he's going to take the 3, and he hit it again!
Your home for the Big Dance is right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
That right there is the explanation point.
Good evening. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Tuesday. Mostly clouds tonight with a gentle breeze coming out of the east at 10 miles per hour, and look for the low to be 62. Tomorrow morning, there will be some clouds with